And up next, we're getting some breaking news. Navjot Singh Sidhu visited Kartapur along with a 15-member Congress delegation earlier today. During the visit, while interacting with the CEO of the Kartapur project, he called Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan his big brother. Now, this comes on the backdrop of several opposition parties slamming Sidhu for maintaining close ties with the Pakistan Imran Khan. We had seen the kind of relations that the both had shared, and Imran Khan had also congratulated Navjot Singh Sidhu over the Kartapur corridor as well. For more on this, I'm being joined by my colleague Gursimran, who's been tracking this story very closely. Gursimran, another statement that has now been made by Navjot Singh Sidhu, where he has called Imran Khan his big brother. There are several political voices condemning these kind of statements. What more are you picking up on the ground? What is the reaction of politicians with respect to Navjot Singh Sidhu's statement?
Navjot Singh Sidhu seems that has given another opportunity to the opposition, and this is right ahead of the polls in Punjab, because we are 3 to 4 months away from the assembly polls in Punjab, and now Navjot Singh Sidhu once again has triggered the controversy, which will for sure be encashed by the political parties, because we have seen that after Navjot Singh Sidhu's statement that Imran Khan is my bada bhai and he has given me so much of love. Now Amit Malvi of BJP has tweeted that the Congress got no one else other than this sympathizer of Imran Khan in place of the veteran Captain Amrinder Singh. So the opposition has started building up against Navjot Singh Sidhu, and it is very likely that this will go a long way. This will have an impact in the upcoming elections of the Punjab as well, because these kind of statements, you see, last time it was on 9th of November 2019 when Navjot Singh Sidhu visited Pakistan's Kartarpur Sahib, when the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan was also there. Then he, during the inauguration ceremony, he hugged the army chief of Pakistan, General Bajwa, and then we saw how it was all opposition. Even the then Chief Minister of Punjab, Captain Amrinder Singh, also lashed out at Navjot Singh Sidhu, saying that at a time when the Jawans of the Indian Army are giving supreme sacrifice on the borders to save the integrity and unity of Mother India on the borders from the Pakistani side, Navjot Singh Sidhu is hugging Pakistan Army Chief, and now this statement of Bada Bhai for Imran Khan is going to cost Congress. This is for sure, because all political parties, it seems that, are up in arms against Navjot Singh Sidhu's statement. This will be used by them. This will be used by them to target the Congress leadership, and that is what has already started happening. It's not been half an hour that Navjot Singh Sidhu has made this statement, but yes, the political reactions have started coming in, and we have to see how Navjot Singh Sidhu goes after this, because he has said that he will be speaking while on his return from the Kartarpur Sahib. It's already a time, we are some 2 to 3 hours from his press conference, which he will be holding right outside the integrated checkpost in Dera Baba Nanak, where we are reporting from. And these are the tough questions he has to face now, because he has triggered a controversy on which the political parties have started lashing out at him. And yes, this is something of a serious nature, because everyone in India will ask him that why you made this kind of a statement when we see how the Pakistan is making desperate attempts to vitiate the peace process, not only in Punjab but also in other parts of the India. We have seen how the drugs is being supplied via Gujarat, even in Jammu and Kashmir. All this is the plot of the Pakistan, and at that time when the Pakistan is trying to destabilize your country, your own state, the Punjab, about which you keep talking day in and day out, why you made this kind of statement terming Imran Khan as your brother?
I'll keep coming back to you. For the moment, I am being joined by another guest on this broadcast. Sardar R.P. Singh, a very well-known BJP leader, is joining here on the broadcast. Mr. R.P. Singh, what do you make of these statements that have been made by Navjot Singh Sidhu, calling Imran Khan his big brother? And today he has made this statement at the Kartarpur corridor. What do you make of this?
Well, it would have been appreciated while declaring him as a big brother. He should have asked his big brother to stop sending terrorists across the border, stop sending drugs and weapons across the border, stop sending fake currency across the border. I mean, stop using drone as a tool to send all this material across the border. And then that's the reason when he says Imran Khan is my friend or elder brother, it means that's the reason that they oppose the BSF tracking all such things into 50 kilometers of Indian border. So there's a clear correlation when they oppose BSF's going and chasing the terrorists or the material for 50 kilometers and then saying that he is my elder brother. So he, in a way, he's right when he says he's elder brother because he's supporting all those activities here in country also.
Well, yes, that was the BJP leader, Sardar R.P. Singh. I would request you, sir, to stay on with us. But let's first listen in once again what Navjot Singh Sidhu really said about Imran Khan.
I am CEO of Kartapur, sir. Sir, on behalf of Prime Minister Sahab, Government of Pakistan, सबकी तरफ से आपको खुशामदीद sir.
मेरा बड़ा भाई,
Very warm.
मेरा बड़ा भाई, उसने बहुत प्यार.
We have been waiting for this day for so long.
Honored.
Yes, very
बहुत
warm
प्यार.
welcome, sir.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. I am honored. I do not deserve this,
Sir,
but thank you very much.
Well, sir, there you heard him. Navjot Singh Sidhu praising Imran Khan and also calling him his bada bhai. And you know, the friendship between the two is no secret. There has been several statements that Sidhu has also made in favor of Imran Khan. And Imran Khan today had also congratulated Sidhu for the Kartarpur corridor as well. Sardar R.P. Singh, I want to come back to you. What do you really think it means that Sidhu keeps making these... And that's where we heard Navjot Singh Sidhu praising Imran Khan, calling him his big brother. And once again, Navjot Singh Sidhu's love for Pakistan, in fact, very obvious. And as we had earlier also seen that the kind of friendship the two of them share is no secret. Even Imran Khan had also praised Navjot Singh Sidhu earlier for the Kartarpur corridor. And we have seen Navjot Singh Sidhu, in fact, today at the Kartapur corridor as the third batch of VIPs who were going to the Kartapur corridor. Interestingly, he had not been accompanied by the Chief Minister Chani, who had first earlier gone to the Kartapur corridor as well. And we have our reporters on the ground tracking this developing story from the Kartapur corridor as well. Let me go across back to my colleague Gursimran. Gursimran, as we also heard Navjot Singh Sidhu talk about Imran Khan, the two people who actually share a friendship and it's no secret about it. What are you picking up from your sources in the political fraternity in Punjab as elections also approach? Is this something that is also going to hurt the Congress as well, Gursimran?
See, this is going to be the political hot issue of the Punjab election. This is for sure. There is no doubt the BJP has already taken up the issues. We are being told that the pro-captain camp will also be taking up this issue because we have seen that in the last time when Navjot Singh Sidhu went to Pakistan, he hugged the Pakistani Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa, and then the controversy triggered, and even Captain Amrinder Singh said that what was the need to hug the Pakistani Army Chief at a time when the Jawans of the Indian Army are giving supreme sacrifice against the Pakistanis to save the unity and integrity of India. And now, since a Bada Bhai statement for Imran Khan has come from Navjot Singh Sidhu, he will be questioned in the political spheres for sure, because Punjab, we are having the assembly elections in a couple of months from now on. From next month, we will have court of conduct. That is, we are just a month away from the election process to begin. So this is going to be a hot agenda of the Punjab politics. BJP is going to encash it, and not only to target Navjot Singh Sidhu, but also to target the Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, the top leadership of the Congress. Even we saw in the tweet of Amit Malviya as well, when they are questioning the Congress High Command that you had only this options instead of veteran Captain Amrinder Singh. So this is going to be a political agenda.
Absolutely, Gursimran. You know, the opposition obviously will try to cash in on this, and of course a very controversial statement coming from Navjot Singh Sidhu as the elections also approach. Let me also go across to another special guest joining us here on the broadcast. Amit Malviya from the BJP is joining us. Mr. Malviya, what do you make of these statements of Navjot Singh Sidhu? The friendship that Sidhu and Imran Khan have shared is no secret. But how do you see these statements that he has made, and also at a very important location at the Kartapur corridor itself, where he has said Imran Khan is like his big brother?
Well, this is not an isolated statement. This is clearly aimed at polarizing the minorities in this country. And Imran Khan and General Bajwa are the two people that Navjot Singh Sidhu has in the past also heaped a lot of praises. The last time he went, he hugged General Bajwa. He made a lot of statements completely whitewashing the sins of the Pakistani army, which is involved in a lot of bloodletting and terrorism in this country. We've seen instances of drug trafficking, illegal arms being smuggled in Punjab, and Captain Imran has highlighted about it every now and then. But the question is that the Gandhi family prefers to have Navjot Singh Sidhu at the helm of Punjab affairs instead of a veteran Captain Amrinder Singh. So it is quite clear that Congress is a new Muslim league, and the Gandhis want somebody who would appease the Pakistani establishment and thereby the minorities in this country for narrow political gain.
And you're very rightly pointing out the kind of statements that Navjot Singh Sidhu has also made in the past. But this is not the first time, is it, Mr. Malviya, that he has made such pro-Pakistani statements, and also at such an important location today, where the third VIP set of group of members, in fact, had gone to the Kartarpur corridor, and there he is making these kind of statements. What are you seeing this as, and how much of an impact will this really also have in the upcoming Punjab elections as well?
Well, this is not an isolated instance. This is not the first time, and this is surely not going to be the last time. The Congress party uses these statements to appease the minorities in this country, and they will continue to do so at the cost of India's military, India's defense forces, and men who have sacrificed their lives. This is a trend that the Congress party has encouraged over the last several years, and they are likely to continue doing so.
Absolutely. I thank you, Mr. Malviya, for joining us here on the broadcast and for your inputs. We are tracking that story very, very closely about the statements that Navjot Singh Sidhu has made at the Kartarpur corridor. Let's listen in once again as to what he actually said.
I am CEO of Kartapur, sir. Sir, on behalf of Prime Minister साहब, honored के पाकिस्तान सबकी तरफ से आपको खुशामदीद।
मेरा बड़ा भाई,
Very warm.
मेरा बड़ा भाई, उसमें बहुत प्यार।
We have been waiting for this day for so long.
Honored.
Yes,
Very
warm
warm.
welcome.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. I am honored. I am honored. I do not deserve this,
Sir,
but thank you very much.
And that was Navjot Singh Sidhu once again talking about Imran Khan, very fondly calling him his big brother. I'm being joined by another very special guest on this broadcast, Major General K.K. Sinha, who is joining us. Major General, I'd like to come to you. I want to ask you about the ramifications of these kind of statements that this certain politician has also made. What do you look at it as respect to the India-Pakistan relations, and also is it not also an insult to our forces as well that a politician sitting here in India is talking about Imran Khan's relation with him, and how are you looking at this statement that has been made by Navjot Singh Sidhu?
Look, it has got strategic ramification, which is very important. See, the way the Sidhu has been doing things, it has got security ramifications. When Kartarpur corridor came up and he has gone over there, in spite of, Captain Amrinder Singh that time, the Chief Minister of Punjab, telling him to behave, he went and hugged Bajwa. And that time, a lot of killings were going on. There are a number of things that are direct insult to the people and the people who have made the supreme sacrifice for the security of the nation. He has gone against the will and the very ethos of India. And for what? A political gain. He wanted to have the Imran Khan established in Pakistan, and he wanted a place, the same political space in India for cheap political gain. he made the stake of the security of the nation. The way he hugged Bajwa, the way he hugged Imran Khan, and he wanted to do something which Captain Amrinder Singh has been bringing it out. If anything which has gone during that time, and the China, you see the Pakistan proceeds, a K2 plan, that is the Khalistan Kashmiri front they wanted to open up. The Sidhu was directly responsible for that type of plan which they wanted to unfold. It is good thing that, the India saw these security thing, in his mind for his political gain and tried to checkmate. Narowal is the area. Narowal is in the Kartapur Sahib in Pakistan area, next to the Sakargarh belt. That got activated. Jasper Muhammad Kamsa came up. He knew that. Gopal Singh Chawla, who is from the Khalistani Liberation Force, he was present over there when he was hugging Bajwa. Thereafter, he never stopped. The way he has been doing politics is totally exposed. It is very good that he was not allowed to go yesterday. And this meeting with the CEO, you must understand, he's a brigadier who has served the Pakistan army, has been made. Where is the Pakistan Prabandhak, Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee? They have taken the complete responsibility and given to this CEO. And that has got a better design, some greater design. So Sidhu must be exposed every time, in spite of the fact that he has been given the space to go on 20th today. He has to be exposed so that he doesn't do all those things, which he has got in mind for his political gain.